Evaluation is the user-focused, systematic assessment of an ongoing or completed project. Evaluations help determine whether a project will achieve or has already achieved its objectives and identify unintended changes, positive or negative, experienced by communities. Learning from evaluations informs recommendations that improve ongoing programs and strategic decision-making about future projects. Good evaluation design incorporates stakeholder information needs and engages stakeholders in data interpretation to increase the relevance of findings. Evaluation design begins with the identification of evaluation criteria. Internationally recognized evaluation criteria include relevance, efficiency, effectiveness, impact, and sustainability. Evaluations are generally timed at the midterm or end of the project implementation. Timing strongly influences evaluation purpose, including the selection of evaluation criteria. Midterm evaluations usually focus on generating recommendations to improve ongoing programming, while final evaluations focus on measuring impact and documenting learning. The usefulness of an evaluation is dependent on well-defined evaluation questions. These questions reflect stakeholder information needs and are associated with evaluation criteria. The specific evaluation methodology, including the data gathering methods and tools and analysis and interpretation plans, is guided by these questions. For example, imagine that your donor is considering expanding project coverage but wants to understand more about the sustainability of the initial signs of success. You design an evaluation using questions that examine the sustainability of those successes, among other important factors. During mill system design, it is good practice to define plans for evaluation using a summary evaluation table, or SET. This table documents key decisions about the evaluation, including purpose as defined by the evaluation criteria, priority evaluation questions relating to stakeholder information needs, timing, and budget. As the time for the evaluation nears, teams use initial evaluation planning, up-to-date project implementation experience, and monitoring results to develop a full evaluation terms of reference, or TOR. The terms of reference builds upon the summary evaluation table, providing updates to evaluation questions based on experience, details on data collection methods, and evaluation roles and responsibilities. It is often used as a principal tool to identify and contract external evaluation consultants. Using these tools strengthens evaluation planning and design, which in turn helps evaluations inform decision-making and reflect stakeholder needs.